We're just gonna
picking up.
shoot the shit, I guess. I mean, I don't know.
Okay. Hey, everybody. Welcome back to Pretty Positive.
Hello.
First of all, I just want to thank everybody for tuning in and all the support that we got after our first episode.
Oh my gosh, I did not realize like how excited so many people just like, first of all, I feel like I got people who like watched our show from a million years ago coming back. So that was just a trip. Just having people being like, oh my gosh. And I'm so glad everybody's liking the YouTube videos too, because that was also kind of a hit. Everybody enjoys watching it, and people were commenting saying it just feels more personal, like you're there a part of the conversation. And I guess it's true when you get to see somebody like talk and
right. And like our little studio here.
Yeah, like our little setup we have right here, which I hope you guys don't mind. I need some.
She needs some bubbly. So do I. Crack the champs.
Drink it a different kind, girlie. Anyway, so we are back. We obviously took a little break. Unfortunately, we weren't foreseeing this break in between. But well, I guess. Do you want to explain what happened, Chandler? Because
here we go. So we're just going to put it out there because this is just a part of life. And it's definitely associated with mom life.
Oh,
you know? Just like,
I mean, it's part of your life. Everybody wants to know. I mean, I want to know.
All of like the behind the scenes of mom life, like what nobody tells you about having kids and what it does to your body. So here we go.
Yeah, go for it.
I had 2 vaginal deliveries. And I didn't really read into it too much before I gave birth, I think because I didn't want to scare myself. Mm-hmm. But after the fact, I unfortunately developed some hemorrhoids due to all of that like pressure and pushing during labor.
Yeah.
And they would come and go, like kind of flare up at times. But it got to a point where I was just like, all right, this is interfering with my daily life and we're going to get this shit checked out. So I go in and of course, yes, I have some internal hemis.
Are we giving them a nickname?
Well, we have to. We just,
make light of it.
Make light of it for sure. So doctor scheduled me for hemorrhoidectomy and I went in there, no fears, whatever, just going to conquer through this because, you know, once you have kids, it's like, I can do anything, you know?
Well, yeah, because it's once you give birth, it's like, oh, this is a slap on the wrist.
Given I did have an epidural, so it was like,
but still, like, you know what labor pains are like, you know?
Yeah, but and the recovery, so I was just like, okay, I can do this. Came out of surgery, was feeling great because I had this like numbing medication shot up there, which only lasted.
You mean they numbed your asshole?
Yeah, it was like a giant lidocaine shot in my fucking ass. So it was great because I like woke up and I saw Luke and he was just standing at the foot of my bed when I woke up from anesthesia and I was like, wow.
Angel.
This is an angel. Yeah. Like I was like, this is great. He's going to take me home. He's going to snuggle me and we're going to be good.
Okay. I have so many questions, but please finish
Anyway, so
story.
like day 2, I'm like, holy shit, you guys, this is the most excruciating pain of my life. You know, it's like, it's internal. So it's like, there's nothing you can really do to relieve the pain other than just like taking some Tylenol and getting some rest. So the last week has been hell for me. And I don't recommend it. I honestly would have rather like suffered through it and dealt with like the flare-ups than having the surgery because
the recovery is gnarly. But okay, so let me just start. So first of all, I'm glad you're telling this story because maybe other people can understand, like, is there anything you can do to prevent this from happening? Or is it just something that happens after labor? Like, if people, like, you know, people always say, like, when you are pushing, you're gonna shit. So, like, obviously that happens.
It happens, but I think just because of the epidural, you know, you have like you feel pressure, but there's no really like pain like sensation or whatever.
Right.
So you don't really know exactly how hard you're pushing.
Okay.
When the baby comes out, you know?
This is so fucking crazy. No, I'm just thinking about the hemorrhoids surgery. But yeah. I'm listening.
Like, who wants that job?
No. Like, can you imagine? Oh yeah, like the doctor's
I'm
going in
looking
today.
at my
I got
doctor-
an asshole.
Yeah. I'm like, but he specializes in that. So I'm like, I'm looking at him. I'm like, really, dude? Out of all of this like specialties, you chose freaking...
What is his title? Hemorrhoid expert.
He's a surgeon. But
like hemorrhoid surgeon, asshole surgeon.
Like, hey, babe, I came home from work today. I got a nice grape out. Like, what?
No, but that's what I'm saying. Like, I don't understand how this like whole thing. Okay, so did he say that? Is there a way to like prevent that from happening, or that it just happens and then the doctor can take care of it?
I mean, it's completely like normal. A lot of people probably have them and don't even know, but I mean,
how did yours stay? Do hemorrhoids stay like until you get it removed, or can they like take care of themselves? And,
I
like,
guess like
go
if they're
away?
external, there's like some topicals and just like home remedies that you can do to like shrink them, I guess. But
Okay.
I'm not too sure about the internals.
So yours was inside.
Yeah.
So it's not like on the outside because sometimes
No.
people get hemorrhoids. Like, can't you, when you take like a giant shit, sometimes like, do you get, not that I've ever had I don't know if I've had a hemorrhoid. I probably have, but like,
Once you've had kids, like it's pretty normal. Like if you got whatever, you know. I'm not gonna sugarcoat it. It's freaking hell. It's not pretty, but anyway, we're on the mend.
So yeah, okay. So then my other question what is aftercare like? So do you have to like put a cream on it?
Are we really going that deep? No pun intended. We're going deep. Deep into the...
Okay, maybe not. We probably don't want to talk about. I don't want to like cringe anybody.
Anyway, that explains our little break because I just had to deal with that, and I was completely just preoccupied. I had a mom life and student life during this whole period too. So like,
can you sit?
I can sit, but I sit on like this little donut pillow, which is,
Oh,
you know,
yeah,
it
I know.
helps.
It looks like a neck pillow, kind of.
Yeah.
Uh-huh. And the other thing, so can you sit, but can you shit?
That feels like an exorcism.
It feels like
I'm like screaming. I'm like, oh,
Really?
God, have mercy on my soul. Yes, I'm just like, it's
because
I
you
wanna
can't
die.
like not.
I want to punch a hole in the wall. Like
So-
I've developed a little routine now. So
Okay, explain. What do you mean?
when I drop off the kids at the pool, I will do that, and then I immediately run upstairs to the bathroom or the shower, and I literally like hose myself off with hot ass water. Like they're like, oh yeah, sitz baths, whatever. They gave me this freaking little basin to put on the toilet. That didn't help. Dude, I had to run up there and literally hold a freaking shower head on my ass in the most god awful position. Just like,
Wait.
this has been hell, like actual hell.
Oh my god! So hot water is like the only thing
Hot
that makes
water,
you feel better.
and it's weird because like
your
I said,
butthole.
it's internal, but like that
So you
is
have to shove it up there.
no, I don't have to shove it up there. It's
Oh.
not like an enema. It's
Oh,
like,
that's what I'm thinking.
it just like it provides some like soothing relief for that area. So
okay.
it's fine.
How long is the recovery for? Like, when should you be up and at 'em again?
Like anal. That's probably gonna be a while. If we gotta go there. But yeah,
I told you.
she's
I
closed for
told you
business
guys,
right now.
The first episode is so boring. This shit is like, I can't make this up.
The shit hit the fan.
Like, literally. No, I'm not asking about your
There's-
bedroom. I'm talking like what you're doing with sex. I'm talking about like just like the pain. When does it subside? When do you like actually fully recover?
I would say like at 2 weeks. I'm at 1 week today.
Okay.
So
Oh, I guess that makes sense. It was a week. Right. Got it.
honestly, the pain's been pretty consistent for the last like 6 days.
And do you only take like a Tylenol? There's no like meds that you can take?
Oh, I can take narco, but like, you know,
You have to be careful.
which brings us to our next subject.
Oh, speaking of narco.
Speaking of
narco. And,
speaking of psychos.
But before we transition to narco psychos, can we just talk about the fact that like hemorrhoid is one of the worst sounding words in the English dictionary? Like, who the fuck invented this is hemorrhoid? Like, who said, like, I wonder if there's like a Greek hemorrhoid. You know what I mean?
There
it's
is, like, and like here I am forgetting my medical terminology, but like roid.
We need to like start like a petition to change the word hemorrhoid. That's like the worst word in the book.
That's why we just call them hems.
Like, what's a like? Okay, horrible word you can't stand. Like, you know, like some people are like moist. Vagina.
I hate that word.
Yeah, I would say vagina, but is hemorrhoid worse or vagina?
Vagina. That's fucking. I just can't.
Vagina.
My mom, I don't know. She loves the word. She's like clinical, whatever. And I'm like, no, dude, it's a peep.
It's like, peep? You call it a peep?
Aubrey,
you mean a pussy?
Aubrey calls it her peep. So we've
all, we call it peep. Okay.
Just my peep.
But does she know it's a vagina?
Yeah, she does.
But she doesn't want to say it.
I just don't like how that rings.
There's no ring to it. There's nothing. There's no ring to elbow. There's no ring to like.
It's just
hemorrhoid.
The way it flows off the tongue. Vagina.
It is a weird word when you like when you start to say it so many times. You're like, is that the right word?
You know, there's nothing cute about the word either. It's just like.
Will you pass me that box of tissues right there? Just
Sure.
1 second. Sorry. You're fine. You have a cord. You're good.
I can't maneuver, honey.
Oh, fuck. I'm so sorry. I forgot.
Can you do it, bitch? Like, I'm sorry. I'm like.
Wait, I forgot. You're with hemorrhoid. You're without hemorrhoid now.
Hemorrhoid, yeah.
Oh my God, I'm so sorry.
Yeah, we're good.
Did you tear your...
I don't have my donut on right now, but I have positioned myself between these two cushions.
Oh, that's smart. So can I ask you a question? This little, and then I swear to God, then we'll move on.
Okay.
The hemorrhoid, do they have to like cut them out and then stitch it back up? Like put your skin back together? Like do you have sutures
They didn't really explain the procedure to me. I don't know if they kind of used like a dilator to go in there and then just kind of like
scrape
lance it or something and then stitch it. But I've seen like a stapling method. They didn't explain it to me, probably because it's freaking out of this world and they didn't want to scare the shit out of me.
Staples in your asshole?
No. It's like a staple, it's like a gun type thing. It's like, dude, look it up if you need to.
No, I'm okay.
Shifting gears here.
Anyway, sorry, that's enough about hemorrhoida. That's a better word.
Hemorrhoidectomy. That's the procedure that.
Your girl's fine now. She's gonna be okay.
Oh yeah. Except I just feel like I got railed by a cactus. But other than that, we're moving forward.
It's gonna be fine. 1 week is gonna go by quickly, and I know. You know what? You've pushed out 2 kids.
I know, but then it's like I
what
want
happens if
tits.
you have another one?
I know it might blow out again. Like that's why. Okay, this another thing with lovely childbirth caused me to have caused a rectocele, which is like the posterior vaginal wall is like kind of protruding out, just like pelvic floor is like fucked. So yeah, that's later on down the line if I decide that I'm not having any more kids, like because if I do get the surgery and then I decide I want to have another child, then it's gonna blow it out again.
But you could get a C-section instead.
Yeah, but it's like, really, dude? Like I've already fucked up down under here. Why would I want another like?
Well, I mean, like you don't want to blow it.
I've got a scar from my appendectomy. Like I'm just like Frankenchan.
But the scar is like so. Isn't it just like? Isn't it really low and like you don't really see it?
Yeah, but like that recovery, like
yeah, it's true.
Like I have so much respect for C-section moms because it's just like that is gnarly. How do you take care of a baby after you've like been cut in half, basically?
Literally, and I watch these videos on TikTok what like a C-section looks like. Oh. It's not even just like I used to think it's just like you cut the belt like
no, they like cut into and the uterus.
No, they have to go. There's layers. Like there's literally like that, the muscle, the this, the tissue, the this, and then they get to the baby, and I'm like, oh, and then the uterus. They're literally like they did it as if it was like a piece of like a book. And then they were like, so once we cut through this, then we have this section to cut through, then this. And I'm like,
Right.
holy shit, it's not just like a cut and pull that baby out.
Right.
It's a whole like, yeah. I mean, so there's tons of layers of sutures and things like that, but still, I mean, it's crazy, that stuff. Anyway, but yeah, I mean, that's later down the line where you have to worry about that, right? We're not
And
dealing
like,
with it
I'm
right
pretty
now.
sure that I do want another one. So I'm not going to have that done quite yet.
And it's okay, because I think you would get hemorrhoids again for another baby.
At that point, I'd probably just like live with it.
I mean, you just wouldn't get the surgery again because it's so painful.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Don't recommend.
Whatever. Just don't. Well, never mind.
We'll cross that bridge when we get there.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Enough about talking about assholes and hemorrhoids. Let's just move on. So obviously our first episode dropped last week, and we had, we got feedback and things like that. We were really pleased about what everyone had to say, and people are just like excited to like hear us talk about things, which is like even weird to like say that out loud, that like people are
we're fun.
I know, but it's just weird. Like, I think I mean, whatever. I mean, I get it. I listen to podcasts, so I understand like when you're really into like a banter or like these two people, then you want to listen to them and things like that. But anyway,
I guess I'm not like a podcast girl, because the only podcast that I've ever listened to was the one about our show, which was like just giving like a recap and like their
yeah.
and then
That's it?
and then Sex with Emily.
Who had sex with Emily?
Oh, she's great. Give her a listen.
There's just so many out there now. So if you need some recommendations, I mean, girl, you're in the space. You should be listening to your fellow podcasters.
I just don't feel the need to.
Yeah, you're either into it or you're not. I get it.
Like, I'm already listening to lectures. I'm already listening to people
That's
talk all the
true.
damn time. So I'm like,
you probably just like want to unplug.
I'm like, let's listen to some deep house. Tune out.
Moving on. Yeah, so we got some feedback, and of course, the first day. Do you want to tell the story? Are we talking about?
I've been blabbing this whole
Okay,
time.
so
it's your turn.
We obviously uploaded everything. It all went live, and we woke up the next day, and I checked the YouTube thing like pretty regularly just to see what the comments are and how it's performing and everything like that. So I looked at my app. I was laying in bed and I opened it up, and I see this huge essay long comment, and I'm like, I start to like read it, and I'm like, what? And then because I don't even look at who it is. Like, I just am reading this thing, and then as I'm reading it, I'm like, oh my God, is it like what? I look at who it is, and I'm like, holy fucking shit.
Talk about a trigger.
I know. And I was like, well, what do we do? And so obviously the first thing I did was I screenshotted it and I sent it to Chandlar. I'm like,
She dropped a bomb on me.
well, wouldn't you rather know than like,
I was anticipating it coming.
you knew that? You had a feeling that was going to happen?
Yeah. So obviously Aaron got wind of the podcast. I think that he probably follows me on some random account on Instagram or whatever. He got wind of it.
Familiar. Yeah.
And like he automatically went into like defense mode, like, you're like shaming me, whatever, like I've paid child support. And I'm like, he also is blocked on my phone like multiple numbers, and still finds a way to leave me voice messages from private numbers, blah blah blah,
Which is,
it's out of control. It's like, bro, just stop.
I know. And I'm like so confused because from what I understand, he has his own family. Like, he's married, right?
He's married, and I think he's got a couple
kid.
kids now, which is great. Like, I'm happy that he has been able to experience that, and that's what he chose. So whatever. Like, I'm actually very happy for him. So,
But I just don't understand how, like, isn't that...
get out of my life, bro.
Yeah, like, you have your own life now. So why even, like... But also, like, as the wife, like, if I had a husband who I had kids with, and he was, like...
reaching out to
you and like writing these huge you guys, like, when I mean,
maybe they're not together, but
yeah,
still, it's
we
just
don't know.
like, okay,
it's just so weird. Like,
and he put that like out publicly too. It's like,
yeah,
like I know what I've seen, like
Of course.
That was directly sent to me and like voicemails and whatnot, but that was out there.
Yeah.
For the whole world to see.
The whole world to see. Yeah. And thankfully I saw it. Well, I don't know when the comment came in. I just got rid of it the second
Is it gone now?
Yeah, I deleted it.
So I guess based off what you said, he had been writing like other things before that, more like negative things, like comments on the video, and I guess he deleted them and once he came to his senses or some shit. But
he left more than one?
He said if you read it again, you guys aren't going to see this, but
I screenshotted it too. I still have it.
He had said that he like went off and then he like thought about it and went back and deleted them, and then that's when he wrote that long freaking novel about how
he's like he's trying to do damage control.
He's trying to defend himself and just like, I know he's upset, whatever. I'm sorry that I have to come on here and say all this shit. Like, they're straight facts though. Like,
yeah.
And then it's funny because he brings up the child support and I'm like, I have the receipts. He
said he pays child support.
Yes. I kid you not. The last check that I got from this motherfucker was $4 and it's from the state. They garnish his wages.
$4?
Yes.
What are you supposed to do with $4?
What am I supposed to do?
You know, with inflation, do you know what you can do with $4?
I can't even buy a damn Happy Meal. Like,
I was about to say, you can't even buy eggs.
I can buy my kid a damn Happy Meal.
Literally. Oh my gosh.
But it's like,
how long ago was that?
At least a month or so ago. It's not consistent. It was for a little bit. Like the most that I ever got from a check from him was like $200. And like it was consistent for a while, like every like 3 weeks or so, and then it kind of just disappeared.
But is he doing that? Like, is it a court ordered child support thing, or like
Yes, but it's like he jumps around so often, like state to state. It's like I don't know if they can keep up with him. So it's just gonna.
I know,
like,
but when you're in the
up.
System like that, like, yeah, when you're in the system like that, like,
I don't know, like, I don't really give a shit enough to read into it. I'm just like,
yeah,
you know, it's, you know, you say you want to be a part of your son's life, and he always says like, oh, I want to be.
Yeah, that's what he kept saying in the thing. He was like, you keep me away from him.
I'm
like,
withholding your son. Dude, you're not doing the bare minimum.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah, the least you can do is like take care of him where you can, and that's
and build
financially
from there. Like,
yeah,
like you'll build the trust.
Because right now
it's
there's
not like
no
I'm like
trust.
You're done, dude. Like parenting is a privilege, and he lost that privilege because he showed that he didn't give a shit.
Yeah, and not even parenting. Like Jax is like the most precious thing in the world, and like
he didn't need that inconsistency, dude.
No, absolutely not.
He needs a role model.
100% did the right thing, and it's the hardest thing you probably ever had to do. But in the end, like, I know you look back and you don't regret it one bit. I think you're like,
I mean, this goes back to like when I had him and we were filming, and I was kind of like on the fence about putting him on the birth certificate because I like wanted that family. Like I had this idea in my head of what I wanted with him and like building a life with him, raising our kids, whatever. And there was just like he couldn't get it together.
yeah,
So I had this like immense amount of like hopefulness for him, but it just never got there. Like no matter like how loyal I was, like no matter how much I tolerated, it was just like, that's on him, you know? I had to carry the weight of the family.
yeah. And at some point, it's like, is it even worth it at this point?
It wasn't. That's when I was like, all right, gotta go.
Yeah, I know. That was a hard thing. But I think I remember when all that happened, and it was you were struggling for sure. It was hard. Because it's like when you let go of somebody like that, they almost get worse, like the way they treat you. Like they get angrier, they get more.
He always used to get angry, but now it's just like he tries to like make me feel guilty about withholding Jax from him. And it's like,
no,
you know what? You brainwashed me all these freaking years, and it's like, I'm done with it, dude. Like,
yeah,
you're gaslighting the shit out of me. Like, but this is the result of your actions.
No, but I'm saying this to whoever this may resonate with, is that if you want some type of relationship, don't go all over the place and blow up Chandler. It's not going to do anything. It's not going to change her mind. It just stresses her out. And she is Jax's mom. She is with him all the time. And so you have to take care of her and let her have peace. She needs to raise your child in peace. Because if you're not in peace, you fucking can't do your job. Like, you know what I mean?
Well, I don't let it bother me anymore. Like it used to,
know,
but now it's
fair.
just like I just roll my eyes. But yeah, he also flipped his lid on the fact that I met Luke on the show. Like we didn't date till like literally like years after filming. Like it was like
yes, that's where we all met each other.
But like we weren't like
you guys barely even spoke. Like he's the camera guy. You don't talk to the camera guy really. I mean, you just say like, "Hey, thanks for doing great," and then at the end of the day,
doesn't mean I wasn't like whatever. Like I didn't even feel like I was in a relationship with Aaron because he was just like so shitty.
Yeah, but regardless, to clarify, Chandler met Luke on Pretty Little Mamas when we were filming our show. That's where I met him too. We weren't friends with anybody on the crew or anything. I mean, we're all friendly.
It was just like,
but you did not. Once the show ended and the show was done airing, that's when you guys started to have a relationship.
Right? Yeah.
Started talking.
It's funny because like I even like reached out to like I don't even know what you would call him, like the guy who like
HR?
like the guy who organized everything, just like all the like legal part of it. And I was like, I just emailed him one day and I was like, hey, what's the policy on cast dating crew? And he was like, well, since the show is wrapped and like it's not coming back, like you basically like have the green light.
Oh, okay. So you covered all your bases. You're fine.
I did. Yeah. I was like, sweet.
Yeah. And then that's when you guys, there you go.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean
that wasn't till like, that was like 2 years after we were filming. Because I didn't go on my first date with him until like right when the pandemic started, like right before we got locked down.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
Okay. Got it. But still, that was a long ass time ago.
I know. Yeah.
Like when you talk about that, I'm like, what? That was so long ago. Yeah. So moving forward now with, I'm just saying, if I see a long ass comment like that, I'm not going to even read it. I'm just deleting it.
You could just leave it up there.
What? I think the best thing
he's putting it out.
No, the best thing you can do to somebody who spent however long writing that fucking novel of a comment, you just delete it. Just like that. It's gone. All your hard work.
He didn't even use Grammarly.
Regardless, we're ignoring it. So just moving forward, hopefully if he's listening, best to you, dude. Like really. I'm hoping for the best because yeah. Do you want to answer some of the questions we got?
Yeah.
Okay.
Let's do it.
So we got a couple of questions that so yeah, I basically left like a box for you guys on our podcast, which if you guys don't follow Pretty Positive Podcast on Instagram, that's where you have a chance to like conversate with us, and you know your questions can be featured here and everything like that. So we got a lot of questions about dating when you have kids, dating after having a child. I've been single since my son was born for years and I'm scared.
It is scary.
Yeah.
It's scary because you know, being a mom already takes up so much of your time, and then when you start dating, it's like you're putting that precious time towards somebody else, and it's like wondering, okay, is this person going to be worth it? Is it going to work out in the long run, depending on if that's what you want?
Yeah.
And then the whole part of introducing them to your child without like confusing them, and like when's the right time. But like I said, like for me, I had to do a lot of self-healing before I even started
100%
like dating or thinking about like sharing my life with a person, another person, because it's just like,
yeah,
when
it's a lot.
When you got stuff going on in your head and you're not all there, like how are you supposed to be like a good partner to your partner?
Yeah. And also you don't want to spread yourself too thin. Like I think you really just have to know whether or not you're ready to do that. And but I completely agree with you. Like the first thing I thought was, first of all, don't put pressure on yourself to get out there because you think like I am in my prime still. Like if you're young like us and we were single moms, like of course there's a part of you that's like, I'm only going to be this hot for this long or whatever it is.
And I mean, postpartum does a lot too, like mentally.
Mm-hmm. So you have to give yourself that time to heal and like just become yourself again, because of course, like after you give birth, there's so much that goes on that you're constantly just giving. So, and also just like your health overall is of course number one. But you really just have to be completely honest with yourself. Don't do it to fill some kind of void. I would say,
agreed,
you know, because I think then you're going to be wasting your time. You're not going to get into a relationship that's as healthy for you as what you're looking for, you know?
I mean, I'm living proof of that. After I had Aubrey, I was like 20 years old, but I just like, I jumped to Aaron.
Yeah.
And like, I was just blind to all the red flags because he was filling this void.
Yeah.
That James wasn't giving. And I'm not saying James was a bad guy. It's just, it was very different. It was black and white, the relationship.
Yeah.
Between James and
Aaron. And you guys were also so young too. So it is
young.
It is crazy.
If I would have known what I know now then, I'm like,
sorry.
I look back and I want to smack myself.
Sorry.
Bless you, darling.
Thank you, sweetie. Okay. But my whole thing is, I would definitely say one of the main things with dating when you have kids is, of course, make sure you have the time to do it. You don't want to be, first of all, wasting your time or also somebody else's time. And to be honest, be picky. Like, be picky. You know, unless you just want to get out there and have fun and things like that, and you have that time, and you know, the grandma or your grandpa can watch the kids, and you can go have like a girls' night, and you can have fun. And I completely am all for that, because I did that right before I got into this relationship. I was single and I was just like rebuilding my confidence, because that will be the first thing that really helps you, is going out with your girls and like having fun.
You can't like want it. Like it's just, it has, the stars have to be aligned for it to happen. You know,
It's
don't
so
force
true.
it. Don't go looking, you know?
And also like, I feel like other people are receptive to like you
The
looking
energy
for
that
it.
you're putting out. Yeah, totally.
Like I think like if you're really, I don't want to say desperate, because and that's the thing. Please don't be desperate to date. Like just don't. Find the peace within yourself first. Heal yourself. We did get a question about someone saying rebuilding confidence to date when pregnant or with kids. Like when you're pregnant, I think you really just have to enjoy your pregnancy. And
I mean, some guys are into that.
I know, but I think like, I don't even know. Like
I
don't
felt
know what
so
I would do.
disgusting when I was pregnant, so I feel this. But you know, always after, like years later after you've had the baby, you're like, you miss being pregnant, but somehow you forget about all of like
totally. You forget about everything that you have to go through all over again.
So it's like I think that's why I like slowed down with Jax, because like I had already been through it before, and I was like, I just need to cherish this time. Like I gained 60 pounds. I was like, fuck it. If I want to eat this in and out every day, I'm going to eat it.
Yeah. So, you should do it 100%.
Well, I mean, I got confidence through that.
Yeah.
Just like embracing my pregnancy, I guess.
Absolutely. I think so. I think that's like two parts. So the dating with kids, in terms of like, what I would say is heal yourself, be picky, make sure you actually have the time to date, because you don't want to get into anything that you don't have time for, because you're just going to be wasting your time and somebody else's energy and your energy. And in terms of dating with kids, like when you start to introduce that, you know, that's a whole other thing. I think like dating,
that's going to take
when
some
you're a
time.
mom. Yeah.
Like
you have to be patient with that, I think. Like for instance, if you went off of what I did when the first relationship I had, being a single mom, was for a couple years, I probably waited like 6 to 8 months before, because I was so newly single. I was like just terrified of doing like the wrong, quote unquote, wrong thing. But I think now, having been single again for the first time in a while, I learned that it really just is when you know, how do I say this? Like, you just know what's best for your kids, or you just know the relationship well enough that you can feel it out and you know whether or not it's worth bringing your children involved, because
Agreed.
you know, you don't want, they're going to get attached. It's going to be like a relationship in which, but that's like a whole other question. And then dating while pregnant, I wouldn't suggest it. I would not. I would just enjoy your pregnancy and enjoy this baby. And then hopefully, you know, you can start dating after that when you feel, you know, more like yourself again.
Yeah, I think that your attention and energy should be put into the baby during that time. But I mean, I can't speak for this person because I haven't been through that. Like, I never, like, even during like the times with Aaron where we were like on the rocks, I never thought about like dating anybody else.
I get it. Yeah, I get it.
It's different for everybody though. So I can't really comment on that.
Yeah, seriously. I feel like if, you know, you want to put out that energy that you do want to date, like, I don't know. I just remember when I was pregnant, I had no energy to give. Like, all I wanted to do was sleep and eat. And
I did not feel sexy by any means.
Yeah. Like, I just felt like I wasn't myself. My job right now is to host this baby and grow this baby. And, yeah, I mean, like, but if you are feeling it and you want to get out there, like,
yeah, more power to you.
Yeah,
like,
all power to you. Let us know how that goes, because I'm kind of curious to see how that works. Another question we did get, a lot of it is co-parenting, and how do you feel about your babies being around your ex's new girlfriend? Like, how do you, okay, so I guess that's two parts.
Okay,
well, co-parenting. Okay. The way I would go at this question is, if you do have a co-parenting relationship and your ex starts to date and has a new girlfriend, it really depends on the tone of your co-parenting relationship. Like, are you in a co-parenting relationship where you are friendly with each other and cordial with each other?
Right.
You guys can be in the same room with each other. Because that, I think, I mean, I would hope that if your ex has a new girlfriend, you'd be happy for them, and you would just want to make sure that whoever she is, she's great enough to be around your children.
Exactly.
So I feel like I would want to meet the girlfriend, but that's not up to me to decide.
I'd have to kind of feel her out, and yeah, it has a lot to do with this, like, the status of like the other parent,
your relationship
with the other parent.
Yeah, I agree, because I think, like, if you have a really healthy, you know, that magical, blissful co-parenting relationship that so many people can have, and some people do have it. I wouldn't say mine's like that, but I would just say, you know, I'd put out that energy to them and say, like, I would be happy to, like, I would really like to meet your new girlfriend if they're spending time with our daughter,
right,
or our kids. But that's, you know, that's up to them on when they want to let me meet the new girlfriend, if you will. Does that make sense?
Yes, it does. I mean, it gets sticky. Like, I can't wait for that day, like, because James and I have such a great co-parenting relationship.
So that's what I mean. Like, you and James have the best co-parenting relationship.
And I'm like, I'm encouraging him to date, and he comes to me for advice sometimes, like, about his relationships, you know, because he has some limitations, being a quadriplegic, but it's like, he still gets out there, you know, he's still deserving of love, and
yeah, absolutely.
Whoever he's with has to really understand his situation. And that's what I get scared about, because it's like, I don't know if, you know, they're going to be like, oh, this is too much for me or whatever. And then Aubrey meets the other girl. She hasn't really said anything to me about other girls being around, but James is open with me about it. And I hope that Aubrey can have another like female role model in her life and see her dad happy and in a relationship.
Absolutely. That's like, you literally just like hit everything on point, because I think it's not even about like me having a relationship with that person or the spouse or the new girlfriend. It's really about the child having a nice role model, like another female role model, and also being able to see what a good, healthy relationship looks like.
Someone who you can trust, like, and like be cool with. Like, there's no jealousy, there's no like awkwardness or whatever. It's like, hey, like, this is like basically like your daughter too, if you're serious in this relationship.
Yeah, because she's probably going to be the one, if they end up going the distance and getting married and having their own kids, like that's going to be the child's, like your half children's siblings. And like, it's just, there's a lot of other things. The family's going to grow even bigger. But like I said, like, it's so nice for you and James, at least, because you guys actually are friends, and like he comes and hangs out with you guys, and like, it's never like, you guys are like cool with each other. Like, I remember being around you guys and I was like, you guys just seem like
there's no drama.
Like, I mean, you would never.
There has been drama, but it's not like we can't like look at each other in the same room, not look at each other.
Like, you guys can actually, like, there's no hard feelings. It's just like, you guys are just cool.
Yeah.
Like, and that I feel like would be a healthy scenario and a perfect example of, as to like meeting a new boyfriend or meeting a new girlfriend of his or things like that, like, I think like that kind of relationship, you are able to do that, but not everybody is able to.
I mean, say like I was put in that situation with Aaron and his like new wife or whatever. Like, I mean, based off history, I guess it would be like kind of awkward, but I'm not like holding a grudge or whatever,
Yeah.
Because like, I guess because I decided that I was done.
Yeah, you let the relationship go. But yeah, you also have to make sure that
it just depends on the situation, I guess.
It
and
really
like
is.
Who's like emotionally mature enough to
Yeah.
like be like, okay, this is for the kids, so I don't know what your trip is.
Yeah, and I think that's also a big thing, is hopefully whoever your ex ends up dating is great, can have that kind of relationship, would want to have like some healthy kind of relationship for the children. And I don't know, I just think it's better. I always see these big, like, huge blended families that like can actually
it's the new norm,
be together. Sure. I mean, like, I don't know what that world's like, but I mean, at the same time, it's just like, it just shows that there is hope for co-parenting relationships. So I don't know, you guys, some of these questions, I feel like we kind of circled around them a little bit or took the scenic route, but if you guys also have your own advice or your own experiences, please leave them in the comments. Like, let us know. I know we only did like 2 questions, but we are running out of time. But
or
we will,
like, feel free to DM if it's a little bit more personal and you just want some insight or whatever.
Yeah, and also
be happy
like
to do that.
We're happy to help out, or if we want to share some of the things we're receiving, we can also like keep you anonymous. Whatever it is, like, just let us know. But yeah, always feel free to leave us questions. Every week we'll put out like a box, and you guys can just let us know what topics and stuff you want to talk about, and things like that. But that's pretty much all we got for you guys today. I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. Right? How do you feel about it?
I feel great. Like, I'm sorry you guys had to like
I know, it's like we dropped one and then it was like silence.
It's no. I'm sorry. Like, I apologize for you guys having to hear about my personal probs, but
Hemorrhoida?
Like, it's a condition.
Oh yeah. I mean, hopefully this is what you're dealing with. So like,
whatever. Like, we keep it interesting.
I mean, I
hope
if
you don't like it, don't listen. Fuck.
We had a ton of questions. We still have a bunch of questions to answer as well, but we'll do that in another episode. But thank you guys so much for watching and listening. Please subscribe or what's the word? I'm so new to this thing.
I think you can subscribe to a podcast.
Can you? Yeah. Right? Follow us or whatever it is.
Tune in. Bitches.
Tune in, girlies.
Oh.
And no, you can say bitches, it's fine. But yeah, so tune in every week. We'll have a podcast for you guys, an episode for you guys. And also, we won't leave you guys hanging like we did last week. Last week was just a very unique situation. Many other things came up, but we just kept it as brief with hemorrhoida. And yeah, thanks guys. I hope you enjoyed, and we'll see you guys next week.
See you next time.